admit all the time that I'm a little baking challenged on this show. But here to help us out today, whether you bake all the time or not so much, is this handsome fella here. Thank you, Kate. That was beautiful. Kate, she's very pretty. He's very handsome. We're surrounded by good-looking people. Anyway, we brought back our dear friend, Ronnie Woo! Ronnie makes everything fun, and he has a pie that is simple as pie for those of us who don't like to bake, and then he has a more advanced pie for people who enjoy the baking arts.
Yes, even the advanced pie though is not that difficult.
Okay, so it's a pie for everyone.
For everyone, exactly. And I was telling someone in the back that it's so funny the doctors are here because last time I was here, I slammed your finger in the fridge.
That's true.
And then I burned your tongue while feeding you
That's true.
a hamburger.
That's true. That's true.
So good thing they're here this time, just in case anything happens.
Please, don't let them leave yet, Cole. Keep them
here.
All right, tell me, is this the easy pie or the intermediate?
Okay, this is like the intermediate pie.
Intermediate.
But I promise you, the easy pie is going to totally make up for any sort of difficulties that this pie might bring.
All
okay,
right.
so
it's going to make us feel good about ourselves making these pies.
Seriously, you guys are going to love it.
They're empower pies.
Empowered pumpkin pies. Okay, so this crust is super easy. It's like a shortbread crust. It's kind of like a dump crust. You just put everything in. You know what I hate about baking is the fact that you have to like measure things out and put things in steps and like come on, like
see, that's exactly the face I make when I have to bake. My sister's a baker in the family, and she loves really intense, complicated recipes and the science of it.
Whoa.
Not me. I want to throw it in there and be done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get people that want to do that. So anyway, you basically like mix it, and it just kind of comes together.
So what was that?
So we have some powdered sugar, some flour, some vanilla. You know, I put vanilla in everything, and room temperature butter.
That's it.
Just dump it in.
Wow, that's so easy.
And then you put it together.
And then it's like this guy here.
Exactly. So you finish it off.
I get it.
Yep. Dump it in. The great thing about this crust, you press it around. Do it in little pieces because it just makes it a little bit easier.
And then it looks like this guy.
Like this. Yep.
Can you make that ahead, Ronnie? Can you put that in the freezer or whatever?
Absolutely. Make it ahead. Put it in the freezer. But before you put it in the freezer, poke some holes in it.
Dock it.
Yep. You want to make sure it doesn't like puff up and get all weird and warped.
Right, that keeps it nice and flat and even while it's cooking.
Pop it in the oven. You want to kind of blind bake it or par bake it. That way it gets set.
So do you have to weight this down like you would other pastry with beans, or you're good to go because it's
beans
so dense?
Are way too much work. Like I'm like, come on, who carries like
beans to that?
Beans, yeah, exactly. So just pop it in the oven if you need to. Sometimes if it puffs up, just press it back down with your fingers. Literally, I don't like baking either, but I love pumpkin pie.
Right.
So it is a cookie crust. So I mean, if you like cookies, then you're gonna love this crust.
You love it.
Okay, so this filling is also super easy.
So you cube up a sugar pumpkin. That's these guys, the little fellas.
Yeah, but if you can't find a pumpkin, like if you want to make this during like another season, you can use butternut squash. But
butternut squash is delicious. I love it. Yeah. You can get it year round.
Exactly. Okay, so you're gonna roast it in the oven or toast it on, a pan. Just adds complexity. It's a little bit lighter.
Adds depth of flavor.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So you pop this all into a blender. This is a very heavy pan.
I know, cast iron builds your forearms.
It does, right? Okay, so I use evaporated milk. Love evaporated milk. It's like 5 cartons of milk in one little cup, and it's very rich but not heavy.
Right, it's evaporated.
Exactly.
It's cooked down, so the flavor's intense in a tiny little bit.
Yep, exactly. Okay, some brown sugar. I like brown sugar instead of white sugar because it adds a little bit, it has like caramel flavor to it.
Right, another depth of flavor.
Another depth of flavor. It's always trying to add more depth of flavor to less ingredients. 3 eggs. Lovely. Some vanilla. I am a little bit of a control freak, so I add my own amount of spices, some nutmeg.
I love a lot of nutmeg.
Yes, I know you love nutmeg. I'm surprised we're not adding like an entire
bottle of nutmeg. I know, right? The whole.
Let's just put the whole thing in. You can use just like pre-bought pumpkin spice, but since I'm OCD, I just do my own.
Nutmeg and cinnamon.
Yep. Some cornstarch to kind of bind it all together.
Make everybody get along.
Exactly. Pop it in, blend it, make sure it's on tight. Perfect. All right.
Lovely.
It's like a smooth milkshake.
Oops, stop it. There.
Okay. All right. So you get this beautiful smooth custard.
You pour that into the doodad.
And the great thing is you always have some leftover. Pour it into a coffee mug, into a small baking
just
ramekin.
bake them, baking ramekins, put them in a little bain-marie, and you have little pumpkin puddings.
Exactly.
Right.
And that kind of leads us into the next one. So, but we'll save that. So you pop it in the oven, 350.
Whatever, and then it's that one. Show them the fun thing you're going to do to it.
Okay, so this is what makes the pie a little bit of a showstopper. And remember, you can make these pies like 3 days in advance. You know, probably don't want to do it too far in advance because then it might alter the flavor. But the great thing about this, right before you serve it,
this is so cool.
This is very cool. So everyone loves like a creme brulee, right?
Right.
So this is my take on a creme brulee pumpkin pie hybrid.
He's gonna make a pumpkin brulee.
Yes.
Woo!
All right. So you pop the sugar on. Just kind of give it a little swirl so it's evenly out there. So you
can get these right online. I did. It comes in a box with all these warnings. I thought it would put me on a no-fly list, but it didn't. And they're super fun.
They are fun.
I love them.
You can do a lot with them. But if you don't have one of these and you still want to brulee it, just add a little tin foil around the crust and pop it in your broiler for like
And it'll do
3
the
minutes.
same thing. But this is way more fun. Here, I'll do this. You show them that.
And make sure you watch it though if you put it in the broiler because it can really burn and then
What's the safety on your one? How do you do it?
I think it's this one. Okay, it's broken.
Do you know the safety on this, Jeanette?
It's for our own good, probably. Just
I'm gonna keep
make the
trying.
sound.
You do it.
All right. Just make the.
Grant,
oh my God, Grant saved the day. That feels very dangerous. Where's the safety on this?
Grant, how do you turn this one on? Grant.
Oh, there it goes. Oh my God.
Show them the other one.
Okay, so this next one is the one that's like stupid easy.
Right.
And basically, it's the same ingredients, but instead of using your own roasted pumpkin,
They probably can't hear you. I'll stand down here.
Anyway, so this next one is stupid easy. You're in a hurry, you're in a pinch, you forget to make a pie, just do it this way. So we're gonna add the canned pumpkin, and then we're just gonna, again, blend it up. There we go. Blend it until it's smooth. And again, this is a great thing for kids. You know what I mean? Kids love it. Oh my God, I love it.
When it cools, it looks like that.
Exactly.
That was fun.
See? Okay. Blender. So this is what makes this pie so easy. We're just gonna pop it in a parchment paper lined casserole dish. Pop that in the oven, let it set.
Fine, that's this guy.
Shazam, we have this.
Ta-da.
And then the great thing about this one is that the crust goes on top. So it's a graham cracker crust. I like to do some brown butter, again, some extra flavor. Then we're gonna add some graham cracker crumbs. And some more brown sugar.
And brown sugar.
We're gonna mix it up. So apparently this is like the best thing I make, according to my family. And then
this is their favorite thing. It is the easiest thing you do.
And then I'm like, God, what does that mean about the rest of my cooking? I'm like, okay, well, thanks.
And then you put it on that.
Yeah, you mix it up.
Do you rebake it again, or it's good?
So you can rebake it if you want it a little toasty. I always rebake it a little bit more. But you can also just eat it straight up if you're like in a real hurry.
But this one we rebaked, right? It's nice and toasty on top. I can feel it's nice and crisp on top. It's super simple to get out because it's totally parchment paper lined.
You can cut it. You can cut it like squares, but sometimes it takes too much time. Or you can
just
spoon it
scoop
up.
it.
Exactly.
Gorgeous.
It's like a spoon cobbler.
It is gorgeous, and this is your family favorite.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Look at those.
Okay, let me retry this.
Time for anyone.